Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Zelda 2 Randomizer Upstarts tournament match here on ZSR. Tonight we got Malchior versus Hitman. Malchior is up a game on Hitman, and yeah, that's all I got. So I'm going to hand you off to the comps, and they can talk because I'm not good at it. All you guys.
Thank you, Tumbletalk. I am Elso, and I'm joined here by Sonarath. I think I'm pronouncing that right. My apologies if I'm not.
Close enough. You can shorten it to Sonny, and it's still just fine.
Okay. Sonny is a lot easier to pronounce.
That it is.
So, go ahead.
Oh, I was agreeing with you.
So this is gonna be an adventure. An adventure of Link, some would say.
You know, I've heard that this definitely is an adventure of Link, though. How long of an adventure is it going to be? That's the real question.
Well, I think if it's up to the runners, under an hour and 30 minutes.
I mean, that's preferable.
If it's up to Zelda 2 Randomizer, it'll be like a 5-hour seed where you just have to do Barba and attack 1, because that's a thing.
Oh gosh, no. No Barba at attack 1, please.
I'm pretty sure, unless Barba's like the first room into Palace 6, and you would have to have rooms behind the bosses in order for Barba attack 1 to be required.
That's true.
Which
we do have...
neither of those are on.
Yeah, though we do have Malchior versus Hitman. This is game 2 of the set. Malchior ended up taking game 1, so if Malchior does win this, he will be advancing to the semifinals. And game 1 was a really, really good race between these two. So I am really looking forward to what is going to happen in this game.
I think there's going to be at least one bird that gets killed. Maybe 2.
At least 1. Hopefully 2, but we will find out.
And I'm definitely talking about the little birds that infinitely respawn, and not the other bird.
At least one of those will get killed.
We'll find out.
Looks like we're going to start here in just a couple of seconds. And here we go. Alright, so far 50 XP for Life 1 is not bad. And hi, that's a town. This is a great start.
Instant town. All right.
Life Town, I am kind of expecting both runners are going to go ahead and walk through the town to both get hints. So, Malchior's going to say no. Okay. Interesting choice. We'll see if it pays off.
I think Malchior is just going to go straight for the exploration and figure out what is available.
Meanwhile, we need to go east for the trophy, as Malchior is going to find the Downstab Town.
Good old Mito or Mito, depending upon how you wish to pronounce it. And it does have shield, so if the medicine is found, that will be the shield spell obtained for both runners.
Yep. Although I do like the... Also, hi, Link Doll. I do like the choice to say, you know what, I'm just going to come back later, because Mito only has 1 hint. And even then, it's only a potential hint. And then knowing where the medicine is doesn't necessarily do you any good, because you just want to come back with whatever to get downstab. Anyway, oh, don't die, Malchior. Okay, you're good. And that's a life level.
Whew. A little bit of a close one there for Malchior, but makes it out.
This is not a fun screen for Hitman.
No, this screen is nasty for Hitman.
Gonna get out of it, and we have a Maze Island bridge that leads to Death Mountain.
With an instant spec rock at that.
Firetown found for Malchior. I mean, technically it's called Raru, but... Oh, hi, there's a cave.
Yeah. Boulder blocked cave there for Hitman.
So, what do you think Fire's going to be linked to?
If I had it my way, I'd want it linked to Spell.
Ooh, interesting.
But we'll find out what the seed says on this one, or not, because it costs 90.
Well, considering in vanilla it costs 128 at Magic 1, that's actually pretty good.
It is.
I'm seeing a suggestion of Fire Thunder, Fire Fairy. I want to see Fire Light.
Fire Life would be amazing.
Yeah. You can completely ignore that the trophy exists.
That you can.
Ooh. Key drops in the pool is kind of interesting. Because technically you could grind keys to get in the palaces, but I think the logic doesn't assume you can do that. Also, I have no idea what biome this is besides flat and open.
Glove over in the east, found by Malchior over here at the graveyard tile. Not a bad hint to find.
At this point, I want to find Saria, I want to find my downstab access, and then I want to go east.
You know, you mentioned something about Saria, and Malchior finds it soon after getting that glove hint.
But which end of Saria did we find first?
That's the real question.
Because one end is the party end, and the other end is, well,
The
water
other end is infinite sadness.
No, you just need to talk to Bagu. Looks like we got one of 3-6 here on the west. We don't know which. And, oh, okay. Double Death Mountain entrance.
And the cross in Trophy Cave.
Honestly, not a bad find.
Not at all. Especially if a pass through Death Valley is required.
And it's weird in that it's one of those items that the earlier you find it, the better, because even though a lot of items in Z2R are kind of whatever you find them is a good time to find them, pretty much. The cross especially you want to find before you're doing all of your Invisiboa paths. And, ooh, the Iron Knuckle gives 200 XP.
It's a good Iron Knuckle there for Hitman getting attack 2 already.
I would at least give some thought towards grinding the Iron Knuckle in front of that palace just to get a little bit of extra levels to start off with. And honestly, it is pretty easy to kill it.
It is.
And
well, we don't have to worry about keys being out of logic from those drops, since that's the magic key coming in from the grass tile.
Yeah, now I'm kind of wondering. So you find Heart Container Cave. This is where digging palaces gets kind of interesting, because you kind of want to go to the east to get your glove before you go into palaces, but on the other hand, you could very well need a raft to get to the east.
That is a possibility, and Malchior, unfortunately, taking a death to that Daira.
One thing that I've noticed about Dairas is the best way to fight them is just completely unfounded aggression.
Yeah.
Especially when you get them against a wall like that. Now, sure, you have a gorilla throwing its toenails at you from behind, so that makes it annoying. And you will never be able to unsee that.
Yeah, I will never unsee that for sure. Okay.
Alright. Malchior's got to be careful here. Does not have enough to cast anything. I would actually just ignore this gorilla and leave. Yeah.
Unfortunately, does take the game over there.
Arguably, the best thing you can do in that case is just actually force the gorilla and Dara to stand on top of each other and just double hit them. And the problem is, oh, hello. We have connection to the east. This is good. I would skip Heart Container Cave for a little bit, looking for the glove.
And there's a 3-eye rock immediately with that connection.
That makes the plunger a little bit more valuable.
It definitely does. Alright, Malchior going to give us a look into which side of Saria this is, and it's not the good side. But it is
the Fairy Town. So, it loses a little bit of its value because you got the any key, but that kind of doesn't matter because Fairy is still just usual.
Oh, absolutely. Malchior's
that
going
was
to go
the-
after it again.
Now, that was a part of Parappa Cave we saw, but that might lead to that other side of Saria. Yeah, this is where I think I would actually fight the Dara going to the right and just stack Inmiguri on top of each other. Or just leave the cave and come back later, because like you know how to get here. You know you have Saria, which has Fairy in it. You can Fairy over all of this. If you can cast Fairy at Magic 1, which is difficult. This is one way to do it.
I actually like what Malchior's going for here, and he does make it through.
Damage boosting to get a heart container.
All right, not too bad, as Hitman's in Magic Container Cave. Or Magic Jar Cave, shall I say.
Yes. Now, you can hit the Muse without downstab. It's just, it requires, as we saw on Hitman's side, a pretty precise set of gems to get. And by pretty precise set, I mean a single jump. This is not easy Daras to kill, but Hitman will get them. And Hitman's going to keep skipping magic levels without any spells that he wants to cast. And this may cause a little bit of a divergence between our two runners in terms of the levels, is Malchior does have reason to take magic levels here.
Absolutely, though a Magic Jar coming in from Magic Jar Cave seems pretty normal, and that's a border block.
Yep, that's a new thing. Is, well, I say new in air quotes. If you're like me and haven't followed the randomizer updates as heavily, you can now have your pass-through, your connector caves blocked by hammer. I don't know if you can have connector caves between continents blocked by hammer, though. That's one thing I'm not sure of.
You absolutely can.
Oh. Well, that's fun. I think we'd like to see a hammer at this point.
A hammer would be fantastic right now.
What I don't know is if you can walk to the other side of Parappa Cave. Here's Fairy Cave. Game over, return of Ganon for Hitman, but that's okay because going back to start isn't always the worst thing in the world. Because remember, Hitman does not know about the east connector that's in the north portion of this West Hyrule.
He does not, and Malchior is about to find the bridge. So we'll see what he does from here.
I think he's going to check to see what the bridge is. I don't think he's going to continue going this way, though, because he knows if he can get to the other side of where Parappa Cave is, he can probably get to the other side of Saria and get here.
Alright, Hitman finds P5.
So we have 4, 5, and 1 of 3, 6. I'm going to guess it's 4, 5, 6 on the west because the game is...
Yeah, I absolutely see 4, 5, 6.
Hitman finds the east. Malchior elects not to check the bridge.
I think Malchior is coming over to the other side of this bridge to take a look and see what he can find here. Which I'm not against, though it
makes sense when you consider. It makes sense when you consider that he knows the other side of Saria is going to have Fairy, and he knows he wants that Fairy as soon as he can get it, because that allows him to skip some stuff.
Absolutely.
Looks like Malchior is going to elect to up A in the palace. I like this a lot, actually, because at this stage you don't necessarily need to keep all of that XP compared to. Sometimes getting the extra lives back is fine. Malchior's going to elect not to do Death Mountain just yet.
Though I do like to pop in to check and see what those entrances lead to.
You know what would be interesting is if you actually have to get the Bagu check in order to get the Fairy spell.
I mean, that is a complete and total possibility.
And given that we have not seen a way to walk to the other end of Saria yet, that's certainly, I'd argue it's getting more likely.
It definitely feels like it, though at the same time, we haven't been able to see what fire is connected to yet, just because Malchior has not actually gotten to a high enough magic level to cast fire.
So let's see what Malchior does from here. Gonna elect to up A. This could be a play to the east.
It absolutely could, and that's what it's looking like.
I don't dislike this play at this stage. You know, Glove is over here. And with Glove and any key, you can kind of just start digging palaces as much as you want.
Oh yeah, I like this play a lot.
Boots also would be kind of interesting.
Boots? Well, Boots would allow for the other side of Saria to be hit as well.
Yes. Hi, there's a random forest tile in the middle of a lava field. Hitman will be joining Malchior here in the east. That looks like a potential desert tile.
That does look like the desert tile, which is a P-bag. Only 100 points, though.
Oh, and the forest tile in the middle of the woods does not take you to an encounter. Forest tile in the middle of the woods. Forest tile in the middle of the lava field. This
Ugh.
does not lead to an encounter.
I mean, we do have Hidden Kasuto as well as Hidden Palace on, so seeing both 3-Eye Rock as well as that lone forest tile could be one of the towns, or even potentially a palace.
I don't like that Malchior is not checking that cave. I would want to at least poke my head into the cave. Yes, there is the cave right there, but you kind of have to know that you came out of that cave above it.
Indeed, and... Oh,
Oh,
there's
there's
some
boots.
boots. And I believe that was Risen.
Yeah. As we find Jump Town. Well, that is downstab.
That absolutely is downstab. A pretty free downstab at that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Hitman's got a pretty free ferry.
Yeah, that's the thing that is concerning for Malchior right now, is if he assumes that that's a transport cave and not a or if he assumes that's a pass-through because he sees the cave on the other side but doesn't realize that that is the... Oh, hi. Blue's on the east. Oh, that's convenient.
All right. Good to know.
Now, clearly, the game wants you to get the hammer to go to the New Casino that's under New Casino so that you can get the flute out of there in the spell tower. Because
be
the game would
amazing.
definitely do that.
That would be amazing.
Now I kind of want to see it. Oh, we're getting the ink check. Go west to find... Thank you!
Thanks for the magic key hint that they both already have. And there is Fairy picked up for Hitman.
It's castable.
Oh, that's big.
Alright, let's see if Malchior goes to that cave. It looks like he's not going to. This... I mean, logically, Bagu no longer has to be available before you go to Saria now.
Yeah, that is a thing.
So... We don't know if the boots block anything else, but if Malchior is able to get... Oh, what? Ooh.
Oh, it is a pass-through Death Valley.
That's, Well, folks, now this just got exciting.
And this is the other 3-6.
Yep. Looks like Hitman will be our first to downstab here.
One of the best tools to have in this game.
I would say so far, Hitman has started to take the early advantage here, largely off the back of those.
Fire is castable now at Magic 3.
If it's Fire Fairy, it is not. I don't know what that is. It's probably got to be one of Reflect, Life, or Thunder. Because Malchior had full cast it.
If he can get another red iron knuckle out of this statue, we can find out if it is Thunder.
It's not Thunder.
So it's either Life or Reflect.
Could be spell, actually. Wait, did the red iron knuckles get affected by spell?
I don't remember.
Because if they don't, it could be spell.
So I think Malchior ended up casting before he had taken any damage. So I think life is still on the table, though I could be mistaken. One of our trackers in chat, VT, was saying reflect, which I absolutely believe it could be reflect.
Honestly, I think that's the most likely.
I think it is too.
Which, granted, it's convenient. Just probably not the ideal. And now, Hitman's about to see that it's a pass through Death Valley seed.
But Hitman does have Fairy available.
Yeah, this is going to be a much easier go for Hitman, especially if Hitman can do the Fairy feat.
Oh, absolutely.
I do like this little grind from Malchior, though. Go ahead and get some free levels while you're here.
Alright, Malchior double checking some of the caves as well as using the caves to reset encounters, which I like. And he's going to go ahead and push through here.
This is an interesting but very understandable decision at this point. I would actually go ahead and cast the unless it is not spell by sheer virtue of the red iron knuckle didn't transform. If it was fire spell, I would be casting fire spell here.
It's fire life.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
It's fire life, but it restores 1 box.
No, it restores 3.
Does it restore 3? Did he just take the hits at the perfect times to make it where it looked like it restored only 1?
He took the hits at the perfect times.
Okay. I like when life only restores 1 box, because then you feel really bad about using life ever.
Right?
We're going to see Hitman actually go into the palace. And Malchior, at this point, has missed the boots. Thankfully, we haven't seen anything strictly boots blocked yet. And there is an incredibly small, but technically not 0 chance this is the very least.
I mean, it's possible, but glove definitely would be required for this path that Hitman's taken in P6.
Right, but we know that the glove is on the east anyway, so it's not like Malchior doesn't know where to get that. Now,
This is very true.
Now, caveat all of this with the glove in the east can absolutely... Wait, can it be fairy blocked? Let's think about how it can be fairy blocked.
I mean, GP would be the only true place that it could be fairy blocked off the top of my head, unless there's a fairy blocked room in one of the other palaces.
Or, let me add on this possibility. If this palace here, that Hitman is in, has the hammer, and the hammer is needed to get the glove.
You know, that's a big possibility. And yes, the other end of Saria was a wall.
Yep. So you have to either find Bagu or find boots. And we don't know where Bagu's woods are. Presumably they're accessible, though?
They should be. Alright, Hitman going ahead and taking Magic 3.
And if boots aren't required and Malchior is able to get Bagu's woods, that's not bad.
Ooh, I believe that was a Doomknocker's mace that just took that life off Hitman, but nice part about that is the life restore.
Alright, so we see a little 8 segment of woods over by Saria. So as long as that little 8 segment of woods isn't Bagu's woods, where over 50% of his encounters, we're okay. This is an interesting room to do because it does actually require you to use either jump or fairy to get out of it.
And I like that Hitman's opting to use jump here instead of fairy.
Yep.
Conserving more magic.
And speaking of fairy, there's a fairy.
Always nice to see.
Yeah. So Malchior is going to elect to at least kill the Iron Knuckle in front of P4. We don't know if he's going to go in yet or not. Going to use that fairy life.
I don't foresee Malchior going in, just because there's still so much available to be done. But Life 4 definitely helps a lot. No, he is going in.
He might be you know? Oh, no, never mind.
Okay.
I was thinking he was going to make the anti-meta play that the item in 4 is required to get Reflect. Which, honestly, isn't a terrible play depending on how early the item in 4 is.
I mean, that's always the question, though, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, it won't be beyond Karak because that flag is off. Okay, Malchior's back in the east. Now let's see if he recognizes that the cave he came out of is directly... Oh, hi, back. To the north of that one cave that he skipped.
Find out shortly.
Good use of encounter there to get through the lava field.
That's a really, really good use of encounters.
Instead, gonna jump into this Valley of Death.
Alright, gonna go for the encounter skip here.
Meanwhile, we have an elevator here for Hitman in one of the, what I call P4 elevator rooms. Because I always associate them with 4, and it looks like this is 3?
Yeah, this is 3. And here's the item in 3, and it's a magic jar.
I might would have tried to cast fire before that, just to see what it is, because you have a lot of enemies there, so if it's anything but Reflector spell, you'll be able to figure that out quickly, and even then you'll be able to figure a spell out. I'm a little surprised Malchior did not go back and get downstab before now.
I am too. But I think Malchior is just trying to do a one-trip Mido.
I understand wanting to do the one-trip Mido. Sometimes I do think it's a little bit of bait. Because then you get cases like this where you're going into the east deliberately without downstab because you don't want to go to Mido. And also, Malchior doesn't know where the medicine even is.
No, but we do have Rebo found over on Hitman's side. Taking a death, does have 1 life remaining as we see GP over here for Malchior.
So that's going to count as the east and not Valley of Death, just because it's not in that big circle. But Malchior's this... So that water tile is also a little concerning in terms of boots. Also, good second refight here for Rebo, getting this corner stabs. Ooh! And a double level to boot.
That's really nice. So that'll be 3-4-5 for Hitman if he decides to take life 5 here.
I think you do. Like, there is something to be said for going for attack 3 early and then just taking levels as you go. Some people like to go for attack 4 and then levels as you go. But honestly, attack 3 usually is the point where most seeds start to open up in terms of being able to do combat pretty quickly.
And that's a hammer for Malchior.
Okay.
So we have a hammer in Sunken.
And here comes Hitman right behind, but it's going to be able to check this water tile. Let's see. It's the trophy. Interesting. Not great, given fire life exists, but I don't think Hitman's actually cast fire yet.
I don't think he has either, but he sees GP and since he has the boots, he's able to just walk around.
So I think this is a caldera biome.
It seems to be that way.
And there's the third palace. It is
P2.
So that means P1
Oh, no.
is our Maze Island.
Thank you, Slamu. It is a volcano. And there's thunder over at New Kasuto.
7 magic containers.
Yikes.
And that could be the glove.
Yeah, it's down to either that or Spell Tower.
But we do have thunder at least. So that's kind of get that out of the way. And if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like Reflect is vanilla and Spell is in Old Kasuto, based off of Hitman's tracker and going into Dirty a little bit. Also,
All right.
we haven't seen it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say there's thunder for Hitman as well, but also Hitman having 1 magic jar more only needs to find 1 in order to be able to access Grandma's basement, where unfortunately Malchior is still needing 2.
Yeah. But there is one little consolation prize that the boots have not been required so far. Convenient, yes, but not required unless you see Boggy's Woods in that little 8-tile patch south of Saria.
You're right, they haven't so far.
So Malchior is going to elect to go into Palace 2 here.
Also, you absolutely called 456 being over on the west.
Sometimes the game just knows what to do to be stupid.
This is
Good
true.
use of fire.
Malchior trying to push through. Just
He's gonna
using
be
that
able
fire
to.
life. Rewarded with a fairy afterwards, so that's nice to see.
Still, to me, one of the big stark differences besides the fairy on Hitman's side is the lack of downstab, because that's causing Malchior to have to do a lot of this damage boosting.
Yeah, that lack of downstab is definitely hurting Malchior at this point. Alright, Hitman now venturing here into 2.
We'll see if Hitman's able to also get everything out of here. Thankfully, they both do have the magic key, so key door's not going to be an issue, but that's a fish.
That most definitely was a fish.
So this is interesting. Okay, so there's that. Gonna use Thunder to kill the blue Iron Knuckle. Okay, I like it.
I'm a fan of that.
Oh!
Oh,
Into the drink with Malchior. What flavor Kool-Aid do you think this is?
cherry. Oh,
Ah!
back into it.
I wonder if this is Malchior getting downstabbed.
I think it might be.
Because that's one of those things where you're like, you never want to take a death like that.
Red is
No.
absolutely a flavor. Not going for downstab.
At this point, I don't like skipping downstab here. Like, you're right there. Yes, it takes a little bit of time to go get, but the time savings that you get from doing Mito in one fell swoop at this point aren't worth it compared to the amount of time that you spent without downstab. Yes, you just found the medicine, but that still.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on this.
And still not going back. Still not going back for down stab. Now, I understand, okay, maybe you don't want shield, because, you know, sometimes you don't need shield, but, I mean, this seed can down stab block you.
Oh, it absolutely can at this point.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't expect any less of you on that.
Given that I have at least some amount of past history with Malchior through Z1R, I can absolutely do that. Caveat, it's good history. It's not bad history.
Good history is always good stuff.
It also makes it easier.
True.
Looks like we have a dead end in P2 and a lightning to lead? Potentially glove blocked?
I think it was glove blocked, but looks like Hitman's going to be continuing to search for some towns. Does run over here into Darunia again.
Malchior once again skipping down stab. Finds jump cave.
I mean, this is a cave that exists.
Yes. Malchior did pick up jump, right?
I believe Malchior has jump, yes.
Okay. Because this whole time, I've been thinking that Malchior's been able to get it when he doesn't have jump. I mean, the first question would be, why would you skip jump? If you went all the way through Nabaru.
Exactly. Alright, there's upstab for Hitman.
Upstab is not bad.
It has its uses.
If you do the wibble wobble on Thunderbird, it makes it easier. Yeah, there's jump! Go west to find the child.
Oh boy.
Wait, hold on. This is a new area that we have not seen yet.
And this is Medicine Cave.
Well, this might give Malchior something. If the Ujima What's It is in here, if only you had down stab.
But what's down stab?
Down stab is a move in Super Smash Brothers where Link he uses his down air to try to meteor smash you, but usually somebody just dodges out of the way and you just go flying to your death. Especially if you're Toon Link, then you just speedrun dying.
Yeah, pretty much. That was perfect. Yep,
Oh,
there's the
kid.
child.
Although, Hitman's on the side. Also, I stopped using Link in Smash Bros. When Bowser became not terrible.
Oh man, Bowser. Talk about a power character there.
Like, Bowser's actually my main in Smash.
Oh, Hitman found Pillar P-Bag Cave.
Okay. Well, this could be useful. It could have our 7th magic container.
It could. It could also have a heart. It could have a P-Bag.
It could have a raft.
It could. Raft would
We
be
haven't
big,
seen that
'cause
yet.
would be-
I'm personally convinced raft is required for the East.
Raft
the
is
East,
required
Maze
for
Island.
Maze Island.
Yeah.
Because we've seen both ways to Death Mountain. We've seen west to
We've seen-
east.
And we've seen 2 connectors and a bridge, but we have not seen a raft tile. Well, we've seen the raft tile.
I was about to
hold
say,
on.
we've seen the raft tile. We haven't seen where it goes to. But
Wait,
that
is
was
this
the...
Bagu's Woods?
It looks like it might be.
If this is Bagu's Woods, that's, like, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It
is.
is!
I'll be.
Now watch Bagu be in that one little section. Oh man, that would be awful. Oh nope, that's not him.
Nope, that's definitely not Bagu.
That is also not Bagu.
That was some lag.
Lag percent. Hitman about to find the child.
Come here,
Wait, the
child. Just... He found it.
Nice. Malchior can now get the fairy spell.
And Hitman does pick up the child. Gonna go ahead and up A out of there. Head back to start. And now it's time to press on.
Yeah, at this point, I think you go back east. You grab your reflect spell, and honestly, between that and having the 7 magic containers, you just stay east until you're done with everything over there. Except for GP.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Although I don't mind going ahead and clearing out some of these West Palaces now. Especially this one, because it's kind of out of the way, I think.
Yeah, this one's very out of the way.
So doing this is fine. It is P6, so Barba's going to be a little bit slow.
Yeah, attack 3 bar. Oh, no, it's glove blocked. Gonna have to come back.
You're not going to do that, Palace, right now. Hold on. I'm starting to rethink my beats block statement. Because I don't know if you could actually get to Darunia and the rest of the East without boots. And boots were necessary. And Darunia is necessary because it's got that one spell that everybody loves.
I think you're right, actually.
Also, we're hopefully going to see what's in this forest key counter. Hopefully it's Old Casino. Because that can still be required for the glove.
Yeah, that's very true, because... Oh, nope. It's Angry Neighbors.
Where's Tim the Toolman when you need him?
Right.
I like choosing to do some spawn manipulations here to get better encounters, so that you don't have to deal with the garbage that is the lava encounter rate. Also, steel bits.
Good old steel bots.
Let's see. Alright, fairy spell for Malchior.
100 points from an orange Lizalfos. How many coming in from a red? That's the real question.
Alright, now let's see if Malchior gets the down stab.
$70 from the red, and Malchior is going to go ahead and get down stab. So he will finally have that in the arsenal.
Alright, I have one theory as to what's going on here. I don't know if Malchior's ever gone for down stab with jump. Because you can absolutely do that with jump. You don't need to wait till you have fairy to do that.
You know, I think Malchior was just tunneled in on going after fairy. I've been at fault for doing that a couple times. Alright, fairy feet coming in from Hitman. Nails it.
I've definitely tunnel visioned in Z1. I don't know how much I've tunnel visioned in Z2, but that's just because I haven't played it as much. I presumably have at some point.
Gets the second fairy feet.
Yeah, there might be a pass-through cave that gets you over to Darunia.
Alright. What is Grandma going to have in her basement today?
Whenever Grandma has the child, I get many questions.
No, she has the plunger.
Alright, here we go. Child to flute to glove. Let's go!
I think it's going to be child to flute to old Kasuto to glove.
Yes! Yes! I love it! I absolutely love it.
I think I owe both of these runners an apology after they're done.
Nah, you're fine. For those that don't know, I have an absolute love for the trolliest seeds possible. Except when I have to play them and then I get annoyed.
I mean, who doesn't love the trolliest seeds ever until they have to play them?
So Malchior is going to go ahead and elect to do Palace 3, now with the Fairy spell in hand.
I like the play.
I do too. We know you can do it without a glove.
And there's Reflect.
Now I think we might actually see P4, or I feel like I would go to 3-Eye Rock first.
It's definitely go to 3-Eye Rock first. Because at this point, there's a pretty high likelihood of this being Old Kasuto. And it is.
Alright, come on. Spell for glove. Wait, hold on. We've seen all the items on the east. It has to be spell for glove.
Yep. And there's the spell for Hitman.
Spell.
Oh. You know we think so. That's a fantastic question. What have I done?
You have generated a seed of pure happiness and, well, stuff. I love these chain reactions.
I've generated a seed, that's for sure. Alright, Hitman getting Fairy Feet again without too many issues.
Malchior is going to get Magic 4. Again, we don't know how much of this you can access without boots. If there's a pass-through cave that gets you to Darunia, then technically we're not boots blocked, I think, from anything. So as long as there's a pass-through cave to get to Darunia, we're okay.
Yeah, that is the real question at this point.
If there is not a pass-through cave, oh boy! Tell me the game. It's not. It's gonna put the pass-through cave on the the other side of a wall that leads to Darunia, so you can't actually get there.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, here we go. We know what it has to be.
The raft. What?
Glove, my old friend, welcome back.
I feel like at this point you just go to 2. Like, it's right there. And you gotta do it eventually anyway. Sure,
Yeah.
you could go to 2 right before GP, but why when you could just up A and GP?
This is true.
Nice 3-block jump from Malchior.
That was a beautiful 3-block jump from Malchior.
We'll see if we can get out, though. Well, he can definitely get out if he does that.
Yeah, he went for the experience, did not get it, and was forced to up A instead.
You know, actually, Hitman is just in go mode at this point.
Still needs raft.
Minor details. Just swim. You have the boots. Wait, you have to raft over the mountain.
Yep.
What kind of raft is this? I want one.
It's a hover raft. We're just missing the C for it to actually be a hovercraft.
That should. Well, now I need somebody to make that a sprite. Replace the raft with a hovercraft. Oh, there we go.
All right, there's the 7th for. It's the invincible raft. There we go. The But there's the 7th magic bar for Malchior.
Now able to collect the flute, which will lead to the spell, which will lead to the glove.
Yeah, this definitely led into a chain.
Now the glove needs to lead to the raft.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, personally. Oh, no!
Every runner's worst nightmare. You have to deal with invisible rooms in there, and then you just die because you accidentally get the block.
Yep. Alright.
It's a good thing you have down stab for this fight, because I've done the down stab list and it's painful.
I mean, jousting's a thing.
The last time I saw jousting, it was on some jousting reality TV show where, well, at least half of the people left due to injury and not due to actually getting eliminated, so...
Malchior does have an extra life cast in the tank.
Is he gonna go ahead and just fight Rebo and gets it? Oh!
Yes, does take out Rebo.
And is rewarded with a level.
Okay, so that's going to be a double level for Malchior off that Rebo, which is really nice to see.
Yes. Heart pickup here in level 2. Sorry, I should say Palace 2. They're palaces, not levels. I know.
I was about to ask, what do you think this is, the first game?
Instructions unclear. It's called level 2 in the GBA remake. Give a link to the past.
True.
Malchior is now going to go back to Valley of Death. Not going to go check 3-Eye Rock. Well, he doesn't have the flute yet, so he can't.
No, he doesn't have the flute yet, so he's not able to check 3-Eye Rock just yet, but he should have it here before too terribly long.
We're still waiting to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Hitman, though, just cruising through this 2 right now.
Yeah. You know, we're still waiting to see if her boots block.
Yeah? We haven't figured that out yet.
This cave might be the answer to all of our problems. Unless that was sunken cave.
I think it might have been sunken. But
helmet
head over here for Hitman. Only half health helmet head at that.
Yeah. Helmet head is one of those bosses that, in theory, you want to downstab him, but in practice, it just is kind of meh. Unless you have jump.
Yeah.
Also, really low attack for both runners so far.
Yeah, the levels have not been kind so far.
Malchior is up 8 to head over to the 3-Eye Rock. Silver's in Palace 1. I'm going to put the bow in Palace 8.
All right.
Hitman going to go back to the west and do all 3 palaces on this continent now.
Yeah, this is going to be cleanup for Hitman. He knows he's looking for that raft. I'm pretty sure he knows that raft is going to lead to Maze Island.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly from everything we've seen, that should be P1.
Yes.
Wait. Reflect is at Darunia. So if there's no access to Darunia, unless it's via the boots, Malchior absolutely needs to get boots at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to earlier, is we don't actually know if our boots blocked yet.
I think we are, because I think that cave was sunken.
Well, that particular cave was sunken, but sometimes the east can get really weird where, like, some of these caves that are really low on the map might just go all the way across the map instead of to a north-south connection. So there does still exist a possibility.
I think.
That's true.
So that's why Malchior's got to check all the caves. And if we determine after all the caves that its boots blocked, I think we're going to see Malchior clear out 4, 5, and 6, and 1 before going back to that one cave.
Well, he's not going to be able to clear out 4 because he won't have Reflect because it's over at Darunia.
No, but he will be able to get the item.
Now
So
that
he may
is
go to
true.
4 looking for the boots in there. Which would be kind of terrible.
That would feel really bad. But item room here.
Oh, it's this item room.
I love this item room.
I love it unless I don't have fairy, then I hate it.
Oh, it's the
but there's
raft!
raft!
That is go mode for Hitman.
If that's gonna delay Malchior from getting the boots even longer because he's gonna see the raft and say, "Oh, I can go to Maze Island. There's 3 items."
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think at this point they have to be double heart and a match container.
Have we seen any of the P bags show up in the cave?
No. And we also have a bunch of palace items still outstanding that we're probably never gonna see.
Yeah, probably.
Unless they're just physically on the way to the boss.
That's always a possibility too.
Which Malchior is now in Palace 2.
Alright, Hitman just cruising through this 4 right now.
So for those that are just now joining us, as we're nearly an hour in, the thing that's led to the big gap right now between the runners was Hitman pulled the boots out of the east early out of a rising cave that, for all intents and purposes, if you're not tracking which cave you came out of, looks like it's a connector. By pulling the boots out of that cave early, that allowed Hitman to get an early fairy, and also he got downstab earlier, both of which contributed to a little bit of a delay in Malchior getting some of the same items, such as the flute, the hammer, the glove. Which, oh, by the way, this is a chain reaction seed where you need 7 magic containers to get the flute, to go to Old Kasuto to get the spell, to go back to New Kasuto to get the glove out of the
Out of Spell
spell
Tower.
tower. Yeah.
And there's
sorry,
an
go ahead.
eco key room in 4. So I'd call that a light fairy block, although it's still not entirely required there.
And Chad is pointing out that the last magic container is in Palace 6 by hint, and it's glove blocked.
Nice.
So you just have to find the magic containers. Anyway,
And
here's
there
Karok.
is Karok.
Now, if you're used to vanilla Zelda 2, this Karok fight looks a whole heck of a lot different.
Welcome to the world of harder Karok. Which, personally, I find easier than normal Karok.
Look, the key is you have to be good at, like, basic geometry.
And just like that, Hitman's going to get a double level here out of 4.
I
And
like
that's
it.
going to be attack 5, if I'm not mistaken, because I think attack 5 was 1990.
Attack 5 is generally the minimum folks like to have going into the Thunderbird fight, and in some cases the maximum.
Yeah, I know a few people where that would be the maximum for them.
Yep. I wonder if we're going to see P6 now.
I think we are.
Yep, there it is.
There's attack 5. So 556 right now for Hitman.
That's
Looking
a
at-
nice cleanup level up. Oh,
It
wait, hold on.
really
We're going
is.
to see 5.
Oh, yep. It's time
That's-
for the maze of 5.
Well, at least we get this nice dark purple.
This is a really nice palette for 5.
Come on, there's no way the boss is literally just going to get started.
Alright, is P5 going to do P5 things?
Oh, there's another eco key. Oh, it's a extra life.
And there's a Link doll for the Eco Key room.
Helmet head is going to go down
Oh
on
my-
Malchior.
It is just at start. It is.
Yes!
All right.
But it is very blocked, so that's fun.
And this Goomba has eaten some Wheaties. There's helmet head down for Malchior.
Instructions unclear. We replace the Wheaties with egg whites.
Yep.
Honestly, egg whites aren't terrible as long as you just put literally anything on them.
That's fair.
Plain egg whites are garbage. Unless you're like using it to make the foam.
And there is Goomba down for Hitman. So 2, 3, 4, 5 done. Just needs to finish or go ahead and run through 6. And then hit that raft tile, head over to 1, and then it's time for GP.
Meanwhile, Malchior's back on the west, also going to do 4, 5, and 6. But does not have the boots and does not have a way to get to Darunia. I think that's largely confirmed now. We don't have Darunia access except via boots.
Yes, there is no Darunia access unless you have boots.
Malchior's going to do Fairy Cave.
I like Fairy Cave.
I'm a little
Don't know.
curious what he's looking for. Unless there's a cave on the west that hasn't been seen yet.
I think we've seen them all because Pillar P-Bag was seen.
Yeah. It's going to lead him back over to here. I don't think there was a palace here.
Don't believe there was. Alright, P6 for Hitman.
Probably
And
just going to
all-
run through.
Hopefully.
Look at this! I completely
love-
missed this when we saw this earlier.
I love the instant glove blocked P6. Gonna take the drop to start with.
Link will go down the hole.
Leads to one of my favorite rooms.
Let's see where Malchior is headed now. Might be going to 6 himself.
Very well may be. Hey look, the item room. That's gonna be the 8th magic jar, or 8th bar of magic.
Well, you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, you're right here.
It really doesn't take long, and it doesn't cost you anything but just a little bit of time, but having 8 jars in GP, honestly, is pretty good, given you have Fire Life.
I mean, full resources, always a good thing.
And I like that Hitman is doing good about recognizing the dead-end rooms. Here's Malchior about to go into 6.
And that's another drop room.
So I think the solution is to just not go into the drop rooms, and just go through this room to the left. We'll see if Malchior elects to take the drop or not.
Malchior
He
is gonna
does,
take
he'll
the
be
drop.
rewarded. So, rewarded with the magic container. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Hey man, what are you doing? There you go. There you go, bud. But Malchior's not going to go to the left just yet, although I think it was an elevator that he needed to take.
Alright, Hitman taking the elevator up. It's going to continue on left. Does get a 100-point bag in here. Malchior about to get the jar.
Alexa Fairy, ooh, gets it. Wow, that 1 bar is filling up.
Yeah, didn't have long to hit that, but nailed it.
This Barba fight will be a bit easier / faster for Hitman in here due to the extra attack level.
Yeah, attack 5 is going to make Barba just slightly easier. And it looks like it's take the drop and go left.
Ooh.
That's interesting. Not a path I would have expected here.
You know, that is kind of how this feels sometimes, is you just go every direction except the correct direction to start.
Yeah, that is very true.
Doesn't matter what palace you're in, except like Palace 1, because it's kind of hard to go the wrong direction in P1 because of how small it is.
And, I mean, P6, given how large it can be, whew, it could take a while. But we got an elevator here. Keeps going up. Keeps going up. Hey, comes to an end.
So, I guess that's one thing the first two Zelda randomizers have in common is P6 / level 6 is terrible. You should never dig it.
Yeah. 6 usually really bad because of the Wizrobes in 1. But in Rando, I mean, it can be bad for many reasons.
Well, imagine all of the things that make 6 bad in vanilla, and now make it 42 rooms.
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't remember the max room count.
I think it's 42 or 43. There have been level 6s that are almost as large, if not maybe there's been one that's been larger than level 9.
I believe it.
But to get a small 9 is very rare anyway, just because those small 9s do require 7 and 8 to be basically the same size, and it's not common. The equivalent of that would be if like all the palaces shared one map, and all the palaces had to fit within that map and have a fixed number of total rooms in between them all.
Oh gosh, yeah. That would be a thing. Alright, Malchior deciding to take the top route here, which I believe Hitman's also on. And does find Barba up here. So attack 5 Barba. This shouldn't be too terribly bad for Hitman. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
Alright, so I'm going to say this as somebody who's a semi-casual-ish, maybe runner. I've never felt comfortable going for hits on Barb when he's like that, except when I'm trying to dodge the fireballs, maybe, if I don't have jump. Because I just don't trust myself to not accidentally slide into the water or take a hit.
So that's absolutely fair. It took a lot of practice to actually get to the point of trusting myself to be able to do that.
And there are a couple of things that I think are very good things to learn, like the Barba Jackhammer if your attack level's high enough to support it.
That's true. Alright. Raft in tow. And Hitman is heading over to that raft tile.
Did Hitman ever get the medicine?
I don't think Hitman ever got the medicine.
Okay, so you gotta sail over the desert to then sail over the mountains to get to P1, which is completely free to access. No encounters required. And this is probably gonna be... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, the most free P1 you'll ever have.
I'm gonna guess this will be a 667 GP. So I feel like 2890 is attack 6 and not magic 7.
I believe you're right. I haven't been paying the most attention here on these later levels.
Yeah, you kind of just assume the runner's going to take the level from the gym.
Oh, absolutely.
This is not a good room.
No, this is a room of death.
This is the kind of room where, yeah, you do exactly that. You wait for the Raws to come over, and then you just kill them. And then they don't respawn nearly as often. And, oh, hi.
And instant horsehead.
Gotta hit the ears.
All right, that's
20.
all.
You get more XP out of the toenail throwers.
Yep. All right,
Now,
that's all 6 done for Hitman. Now it just has to go back over to the east and go into GP. Gonna go ahead and take the level here, which is, yep, attack 6. You called it.
nice, nice. All right, so let's see. Potentially could get life 8 well in GP. The enemies work out well enough, but unlikely. We gotta make one more trip through Valley of Death, though.
Absolutely, and that's gonna be honestly not too terribly bad for Hitman here.
No, gonna avoid some of the work. Gonna avoid some of the loop around. Actually, does a really good job of avoiding these encounters. Oh, yes! Beautiful.
Extremely good job of avoiding those encounters.
Jump into there. Malchior also gets the quick P5, but doesn't have the boots.
And
Could get ugly later.
the story of the seed really has been those boots.
Yeah. Because sure, it technically only blocks one thing, even though it's required, but more importantly, it allowed the early fairy, the earlier down stab.
All right, 68-41, 68-42, somewhere in there. Hitman is entering GP.
I can't
All right.
listen to the GP theme without thinking of the spicy chicken song.
Speaking of spicy chickens,
This is a welcoming party.
This is a nasty room.
Look, KFC is mad that everybody dislikes it because Popeyes and Bojangles are just objectively better.
I haven't had Bojangles, but I've had their seasoning. Yeah, Bojangles is real good.
Yeah.
All right, not an instant T-Bird.
Honestly, that's kind of a good thing. There are times where the instant T-Bird leads to the problem of now you have to do the whole palace to find Darklink. Of course, the other side of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was agreeing with you.
The other side of that, of course, is if T-Bird is deep in the palace, and you actually have to do the palace and hope you have enough magic left for T-Bird.
And that's very true, too. Right.
Malchior going back in to fight, looking for boots, and Raft.
Except, we know they're not here. Malchior does not.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure if he were to ever find a hint that said go east to find the boots, there'd be a lot of confusion.
Yeah, because then he'd be like, which cave did I not check?
But that might ultimately lead him back to the correct loop. Oh, this room! I hate this room too.
I love this room, especially with Bagu Bagus.
I feel like I've only ever seen this room with Bago Bagos, but they're 50 XP, so you could theoretically sit here and just grind them forever.
You absolutely could. I mean, it'll take you a while to get up to that 3020, but it's doable.
If you're gonna grind an enemy, you're much better just grinding the Dripper enemy if it's something like a Mago, especially a 500 XP Mago.
True. Alright.
Anytime I see 500 XP Magos, I do legitimately get high.
Oh, hi T-Bird. Does not have enough to cast Thunder.
He's got extra lives, right?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
But does make it to T-Bird relatively quickly, all things considered. Yeah. Especially with the splits that were available here in this GP.
Yep. So, I'm going to guess that Hitman will do what most Z2R runners do, which is the Pendulum and not the Wibble Wobble.
I expect to see Pendulum here.
Casting
Alright.
spell, I don't think is going to do you much.
No, but does have fire queued up in case life is necessary. Going 2 hits per wave of the pendulum.
Yeah, this is much safer than wibble wobbling.
Alright. T-Bird now firing out faster.
Rage phase.
Does take a hit, and that's half of his life, but he still has life casts available.
Yeah, he should be fine here.
Oh yeah, 1 more hit seals the deal. And
Bonk.
that's T-Bird down. Perfectly centered, too.
And is awarded with 1,000 XP.
Very nice T-Bird kill.
Well, no immediate Dark Link, but that's not too terribly surprising.
Yeah, the question is, how long is this GP going to continue on for?
I'm going to say at least 2 minutes.
At least 2 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty safe assumption.
I mean, Dark Link could be in the next room. But I feel like it takes a little while to get to the waffles.
Yeah, waffles do take a little bit. Granted, this generator in a waffle room is nice to see.
Yeah. Much better than that.
Yeah. I see that in a room and I go, no, thank you. I'll pass.
I get mad that my own kind are attacking me.
Yep. All right.
Malchior's still in 5.
Branching paths here. Malchior running into that dead end. Now the question is, how far is Hitman going to have to go in order to find Dark Link? Oh, this is a drop.
Yeah. Drops are not bad, though.
They can be.
Well, considering you're just looking for Dark Link... Oh. Interesting?
Yeah, it ended up dropping on itself.
Huh?
By the looks
No,
of it.
the physics of that don't make any sense. Like, you go down, and then I guess you just go all the way around the world to come back to the top.
Oh. Okay.
That's terrible. That's a terrible bridge.
That's a scary bridge.
Yeah, I agree with ferrying over this and just saying no. I'm not going to participate.
But he may need to take that drop.
Yeah, that's the concern. And a game over here would be pretty punishing.
It absolutely would. Alright, has Malchior found the item room? No, this is not the item room of 5.
And this looks like another decisional point.
Oh gosh. This looks
Or
like use a... This looks like run away.
Oh, and it's this block setup!
I mean, this block setup really isn't that bad as long as you can keep the birds up top.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's Dark Link!
Wow! Alright.
Holy cow!
So, everyone, let's watch the corner stabs. And we will be getting a game 3 here, folks.
We absolutely will be getting a Game 3, so we do have some Game 3 hype.
Please, everyone, get your GGs in the chat for Hitman1382 finishing with a time of 1:16:17.
Indeed, GG's to Hitman.
And Malchior doesn't have the upstabs, so he's going to have to figure out how to get through this. Which honestly might be a death warp. If he does have the lives. Okay, you can use jump. So with some careful jumping, you might be able to pull this off.
Yeah, this is... It's very possible to do. Alright.
One sword stab there might be enough to do it. Gets
Yep,
it.
there it is. That was a
Good
beautiful
jumping.
jump.
Yeah. And is rewarded with more iron knuckles.
The delicious blue iron knuckle.
I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe them.
Hey, it depends upon the amount of points they give.
I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe them. Unless they give like 300 and they're low HP. Because I don't like fighting them.
I mean, I don't find them to be too bad.
I guess it also depends on if you have downstab or not.
Exactly. 300 point Magos, not bad.
Get some magic level out of the deal. I would cast oh, well, never mind. Let's jump up to that.
Yeah, and I do believe that is Malchior in here.
Oh, let's see if I can find this item in 5.
It
I
It exists somewhere.
I don't think I need it, but let's see if I can find it.
So, Malchior, I gotta ask this question real fast while you're still hunting for it. Do you regret having me roll?
Yeah. The thing is, I like scenes like this that require a bit of a puzzle. This is the puzzliest puzzle I've ever seen.
You're welcome.
Malchior. So, Malchior,
Yo, what's up?
is there a particular reason you skipped downstab 3 times? It exists somewhere.
It wasn't a skip. It was
So,
I'll get back
Malchior,
to
I
Nita.
gotta
I
ask
was
this question
my
real
brain was
fast
all in on
while you're
Fairy,
still
dude. I'm like,
hunting
how
for
do I
Do you
go
regret
get
having me
Fairy
roll?
at Saria?
I knew you had tunnel visioned Fairy.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't initially notice that it was like fully locked over there.
welcome.
Like and only when I walked further down, I'm like, oh, it's on its own little island. Crap, I need boots. And then I'm like, when I got hammer, it triggered in my brain. Maybe I don't need boots. But it took a while to get to that hammer. Sweet jeez. Okay, I'ma guess boots, which are required to get the Darunia. You tell me if I'm wrong on everything. The boots required to get the Darunia are in Death Mountain.
Nope.
Oh, interesting. Is
You are-
Darunia boots blocked?
You are right on Darunia being boots locked.
Freaking knew it. Okay. So, do you have to double dip 4?
Nope.
No.
What have I missed then?
You missed a specific cave.
Okay, I've missed the second pea bag cave, which must have been in that cell section near 2.
Nope.
Really? This is interesting. Huh.
It was over by the desert tile.
Yeah, that farthest north cave that looks like it's a connector.
No!
It's not a connector because you came out the other side of that. From the
Dude,
west.
That is the second time that has happened to me. Okay, I'm gonna stop trusting. Oh, I see the caves. They're all connectors. So it's this one, ain't it? No, it's the other one. It's this one.
Yeah, and the early boots did kind of lead to an earlier fairy, which led to the stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It led to everything opening up. And
Near the
we
desert tile.
are joined by Hitman GG's.
Hello, GG's.
Hey, good job, Hitman.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
You're welcome.
So all of this stuff here. Oh no.
Now that both of you are in here, the real question I have is how about that chain to get the glove?
That was fun. I figured that was the only thing that. Oh, so it's this one. Oh, come on. I figured that would be the only thing that was keeping me in this seed. Oh, screw that noise. All right. I'm gonna just start walking into every single cave now and stop trying to be smart.
So, yeah, the game just wanted you to go get every magic container you possibly could to get the glove because the 8th one was glove blocked.
Yeah, and I did such a thing without boots. I'm gonna go toss a child in a volcano. Hitman, walk me through walk me through your route, because my route was hot garbage.
I mean, first off, I just started off doing most of the west that I could, and then I missed the cave to the east initially, so I had a double. I found that, I think, on my second pass by. I'm trying to think. I know I had the glove hint pretty early, so I knew the glove was on the east.
Same.
Did a little bit of palace diving, but got immediately kicked out by many glove blocks.
Mm. The only palace diving I did was I tried to go into 2 when it was all the way on this other side of east, because it's like, if I don't get it done now, I have to walk all the way back.
Mhm.
But that did not prove fruitful. Without fairy, I did some dumb stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really dip from logic too much in this one. And it was also pretty apparent early on with the connectors that the raft was going to be needed for the maze.
I didn't figure that out early. I found that bridge and didn't walk it. I just marked bridge, MI, and kept going to check the rest of west. I'm like, bridge, MI, and I kept checking rest of west. And then when I came back later, I'm like, oh, it's the M. Oh crap. Oh, that sucks. So I've made a lot of fun mistakes this seed.
Yeah, that was me on the in our first match. Just mistake after mistake.
Woof, that Darunia, they did not want to be found.
No, it did not.
All right.
Yeah, the biggest story of this was really Hitman, you getting the boots way earlier. That led to everything else. You getting fairy super early and allowing the rest of the game to open up.
Yeah, as soon as I got the boots, I was like, all right, going to get fairy, going to get down stab. Now I can play
Yep.
the game.
The stupid thing I managed to find was I failed the first time, encounter skipping and surviving through. I'm glad I went back for that cross after dying in Trophy Cave. I'm like, I'm not skipping this. It's gonna do dumb volcano things, and I was right. So I died first time going through the volcano on the east and came back to it, got through, saw the water tiles, like, well, that sucks. It's like, okay, here's a PK, here's hammer. Crap. So I stayed down there a little bit until I game overed in P2. I took the hammer after remembering where the rocks were, because that west was divided into some funkiness, and found a way to get to 3-6 down there. Not even 3-6. There were 2 sections. This was blocked off by water or rock, and this was. In any case, I found Bagu and got to Saria without the boot.
Hey, it's one way to get there, though.
He was hiding.
But he was not in the little segment of Saria that was stuck attached to the porty end.
Can the game do that?
I don't see why.
Given that you had access to Saria through other means, I can't think of why it wouldn't, unless logically it requires you to get by there.
That's true, I guess. Oof. How bad was GP?
Not terrible.
I was gonna say, from what we saw on Hitman's, it really didn't look that bad.
I mean,
but
having fire with life helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fire life was good.
And what was funny too was I hadn't tested fire yet, so when I was going to the spell tower, I was like, man, if fire was spell this whole time, that's gonna be really bad.
The moment that I got enough MP, I did a fire test. I'm like, okay, it's not spell, it's not thunder, it could be reflect, it's not jump, it's not shield. So I'm at either fire, no, I'm at either life or, and it wasn't fairy. I'm like, it was either life or reflect, and I let the knuckle hit me a bit, and then I used it. I'm like, okay, it's life. That's good, because I've been dying way too much in this early game.
Yeah, when you... Oh, go ahead, Elsa.
When you first got it, and then you used it, and nothing happened, we were just thinking, okay, well, it's one of life, reflect, and Maybe Spell, because if it was Fire Thunder, the Iron Knuckle would have just died, and you would have probably been happy anyway. But
Yeah, I'd have done some farming if that were the case. Darn, Overworld strikes again.
Hey, it happens though. It happened to all of us so far.
yeah,
Yep.
and tracking a Z2R Overworld is a lot harder than most other games I've found.
Yep. Curse you, Overworld. I mean, I got my ugly maps. They're right here. Wait, look at my camera. Those that can
Uh-oh.
actually see the restream. Look at my ugly maps. Yep. All right, game 3. When the heck am I doing that?
Yeah, I was about to say, Game 3 hype. When are you two planning on doing that?
Hitman, are you available tomorrow?
Tomorrow, not until pretty late.
How late?
Like 11 p.m. Eastern. I couldn't start till.
Nope. I'd be a pumpkin. So we might be playing like Sunday afternoon.
That'll be a good time.
So what you're saying is it's your pregame to whatever sports are going on Sunday. I like it.
The Olympics, yes.
Oh yeah, those are going on, I guess.
Oh.
The levels weren't necessarily free in this seed either, because you both are on
No.
attack 3 for like ever.
Yeah, there was no easy way. Cause like, what are you gonna farm? I'm not gonna fight Lizalfos when I screw up twice. I'm dead.
I mean, you did farm the Iron Knuckles at the front of 6, which is actually really smart. In my opinion.
I did that for about 5 minutes, and it still didn't feel like enough.
Just get 500 XP Mago Drippers. Problem solved.
If that were possible in this flag set, but unfortunately the Drippers are only going to drop blue bots.
Yeah, they didn't give us anything.
Oh, it's always amazing when you get that. Although, I guess if the blue bots can drop large blue bots.
Yeah, in my head, I was telling myself, if it gets to 90 minutes and he's not done, maybe, just maybe, he's made the same mistake I have. Or this seed is just really, really stupid. And then when I saw the finish, I'm like, oh, thank goodness. That's why I don't even really care. I was like, oh, shoot, I missed an overworld check. That seems to be common in this game. So when those happen, I'm just like, whatever, better luck next time.
I feel like it's just a rite of passage to miss an overworld check.
I mean, I've completed the rite multiple times over. I'm good. I don't need it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I've witnessed you go through the rite multiple times, my friend, and it feels bad every single time it happens to you.
Yeah, so... Alright, I'm gonna add to my little sticky note right here, bold letters, check every cave, don't try to be smart. Alright, anytime I screw up, the sticky note gets longer.
It's just reminders for next time.
Eventually, you just end up with a CBS receipt.
Yeah, currently it says shield. No. Currently it says shield or life before palaces because blue dart nuts, blue iron knuckles, whatever, freaking hurt.
Yes,
and
they do.
Then it says downstab before palaces because game 1 I went to a palace without downstab and promptly learned really quickly. Check every cave. Don't try to be smart is the latest one. Fairy or A key required before palaces. And get freaking upstab at Darunian.
Because you never know when you're going to run into an upstab lock.
Yeah. As rare as they are, they do exist.
See game 1. Ah, that was fun. It's interesting. I like the puzzle of this game. And I think the fact that even with the backtracking, there's always new information to be gathered. When you backtrack in Zelda 1, it just feels bad. Any backtracking in Zelda 1 is like, oh, I'm dead. This game kind of requires backtracking a little more so that you can get all your pieces.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Everyone's going to talk about the differences in the combat between this and Z1, but what's not often talked about is the entire mentality you have approaching one of these versus C1's got to be different.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is the most mentally intensive rando that I've noticed from any rando.
Even LTPR with its like 300 checks.
Yep.
Jeez.
All right,
Oh,
I'm gonna say that.
boy.
Off in that.
I'm gonna say this about LTDPR and its extension SMZ3. They both have a static overwhelm. You know where the checks are.
Yep. I was about to put that together too.
Yep. But I have a feeling we should probably jump over to final thoughts before we give ZSR back the main channel. So, Hitman, going into Game 3, any final thoughts?
I'm just happy to force a game 3.
Let's
Malchior
go.
is a very good runner.
Yeah, I'm excited for a full series. I'll try to bring my A game to you on Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, also, it's been a great time being here in the booth with you, and I'm looking forward to Game 3. You want to say anything before we give it back to Tomaltalk to close us out?
Yeah, hopefully Game 3 seed is, what's it called? I want to say even more chaotic, but also I kind of want to say that it'll have a nice little progression path that seems like it's the right one, and then it just dead ends somewhere and you gotta go off to do Palace 5.
Just don't put 15 caves next to each other.
Instructions
Scatter
perfectly clear. The east is just Death Mountain Light.
I'm good. I need to go wash off this seed. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Malchior. And before I throw it back over to you, Tomaltalk, VT Slacker, and Warner Traveler as our trackers, thank you so much for doing so. And Tomaltalk, it's all yours to take us on home.
All right, thank you. Who doesn't like a Game 3, right? Thank you everyone else coming out. Comms for comment, tracking for tracking, chat for coming out, runners for running. Great race, thank you guys. So CSR2 is just finishing off a NMG match, so we're not going to rate them because they're about to go offline. But there's another NMG match right after that one in about 15-20 minutes. So if you want to watch some Link to the Past, non-randomizer, go ahead and head over there. For everyone else, I'm going to send this over to the Otter. That's where we go. And again, have a good night.